We have a very special guest in studio today. He is the owner of Steve's Hot Dogs, the lead singer of The Urge and the Steve Ewing Band, the great and powerful Steve Ewing. Welcome to the show.
Welcome, sir. Welcome.
How you
Thanks
guys
for
doing?
joining
Dude,
us.
doing great,
Pumped
man.
to have you.
Yeah, this
Sweet.
is
Thanks for
great.
having me on. That's
Yeah.
great.
I've been really looking forward to this one.
Yeah.
I love your music, and I'm really excited to kind of get to know you here. So,
Sweet.
Yeah. I've been a fan since like 5th grade. So I guess that goes back in the Urge days.
Yeah.
So I grew up playing hockey out at Afton. So the Jost family.
You know Jerry and those guys. Yeah.
So it was always like, oh, hey, he's a famous musician. So I started listening when I think probably like 4th or 5th grade to the Urge, and I was like,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
And we've been around for a while.
Yeah, man. You got it. The guys are awesome.
so you guys you're touring again?
We are doing a little bit of touring, not a lot, just a little bit. We're kind of like dipping our foot back in the puddle again. So we're this year we did about another maybe 10 dates out on the road.
Okay.
And so we're kind of just feeling it out and trying to make some space in our schedule so we can do more Urge stuff, in the future. But
Sweet.
it's been a blast doing these Urge shows the past couple of years.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, take us back to, kind of how it all started. Like,
With the Urge, you mean?
Yeah, the Urge.
Yeah. So 1987. I was still in high school. I went to Webster Groves High.
okay.
And the band was pretty much all guys that went to Webster Groves. There was one guy who went to SLU, but they had already started the band before, and they were still in high school, and they had another singer, and he left the band. They graduated, and they kind of were just kind of lingering, and so I knew the drummer's sister, and she's like, hey, man, they need a singer. And she knew that I was a vocalist. I was in choir and all the other stuff, whatever. So she's like, they need a singer, and you should go talk to him. I'm like, I love them guys. They're great. I thought they were super cool. I always wanted to be in a band. So I went and met with Jeff, the drummer, and we gave me a tape, and I went over to stuff and sang it. He's like, oh, okay, this is the band. You're in the band. So I was a junior in high school, and shortly after that, we played a show, my first show at a VFW hall in Baldwin on Manchester.
Okay.
And it was packed. It was crazy. It was just all
Your first
friends
show.
of ours. Yeah, it was nuts. And it was, I don't know, it probably was like 12, 13 kegs of beer. It was just an old party, man. And I had a blast, played music, and I got paid.
Sweet.
I'm like, I get paid to play music? This is
It's
awesome.
amazing. So with that first one, were you guys doing like covers, or were you guys doing your own music?
We were
or-
doing a lot of our own music, but I'd say we probably did 2/3 our own music, and then the rest of it was covers.
Okay.
Yep. But we were doing we were writing music back then. So
Yeah. Okay. So then, how did it kind of progress from there?
from there, after I graduated from high school, then it was like, okay, I can start getting serious about this. So
Yeah.
we started actually touring a little bit.
Making a little bit of money. You're like, all right,
Yep.
this is a job, Like, all right,
So
cool.
we started. We made that decision early on to create a business. Like the Urge is a business. So we got a van, started kind of actually looking at how we run it, and started hitting the road, and we started learning a lot from other touring bands and how they managed their stuff on the road. And then we got a manager. It was Pat Hagen, who runs the pageant now.
Oh,
Okay.
He managed our band, which really helped us get in front of some other audiences.
Yeah.
So from there, we started meeting other bands, and we started just going on tour. So I'd say from 92 all the way to 2000, we just stayed on tour. If we weren't touring, we were recording. So we just toured. That's what we did. So yeah, so that's how you do it.
Is
Yeah.
there
It's still-
one particular memory or place that you guys played at that just sticks out like this was awesome?
There's a few. Probably the biggest for me was when we first played Red Rocks.
Oh, that's
yeah.
awesome.
I feel like
'cause it
that's
was
it's an iconic like
It's such
spot.
a cool venue.
Yeah.
It's something I always wanted to do ever since I saw U2 on MTV at Red
Yeah.
Rocks. Like, I want to play there, and we did. It was fantastic. It was awesome.
That's
Yep.
awesome. So
Very cool.
who was kind of like the inspiration like for the Urge, like as far as like the style of music? Like who was some of your favorites?
What made it really cool was all of us kind of were into what was considered alternative in the 80s, which was U2, Police, the Specials, the English Beat, like a lot of stuff that was coming from England out of the late 70s, early 80s was ska, punk, post-punk, new wave, that kind of stuff we were into. And we just all had the same record collection essentially.
That's cool.
So we were trying to how do we like make all this stuff work musically? We didn't have any like blueprint on how we were going to write music. We were just trying to figure out how to make all the stuff that we love fit into a style.
Yeah.
So that's where it comes from. I came from like an R&B, pop, funk background
Okay.
at my house. So how do we get that
Yeah, put your own little spice on it.
Yeah.
into this what we're doing? Like
Mhm.
with the punk and ska and stuff. So
What's ska?
ska is like, I don't know. There's been a few movements of it, but like say No Doubt
Okay.
or the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones,
Yes. Okay.
or that kind of stuff. Real Big Fish.
Mhm.
That would have been like the lightest like version
Version
of
of ska.
ska. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So
And then as writing, did you guys all write together, or was there like a couple main guys that were just the main writers, or how did you guys, when it came to writing, what was that process like?
So when I joined the band, I had never written before. So when I got in the band, they were all writing together, and when I joined the band, I just started kind of jumping in to write, on some stuff. And then Jeff, our drummer, was the primary lyricist. When he left the band, I became the primary lyricist, and so just kind of just learned and just kind of
Repetition.
just started getting better. The more you do it, the better you get. And
Okay.
but musically, we all write together.
Okay.
We all sit in a room together and we go over parts.
Okay. Now I'm curious. What comes first, the music or the lyrics?
For us, usually the music.
Usually music,
Yep.
and then you write the lyrics to kind of fit it.
There's been a few times where we've had a melody and an idea, and then we build the music around it, like Too Much Stereo.
I was
built
listening to a bunch of
around-
Urge last night. I was like, I
Yeah.
gotta get in the mood.
That was built right around like me coming in and going, "Last night was
Yeah.
a." I mean, that's how it was
Yeah.
built, basically.
Oh,
But most songs are built around us coming up with musical ideas, and then I'll go back and write lyrics and vocal melodies. Yeah.
And then when did you start the Steve Ewing Band?
I started the Steve Ewing Band right after the Too Much Stereo tour. Was like 2001.
Okay.
And I was living in LA at the time, and I'm like, the Urge, because the Urge kind of took a break. Like, we're not doing anything, and it's crazy. I'm in LA, and I form a band with a bunch of other cats from St. Louis.
Really?
In LA.
That's crazy.
So I'm not joking. It was like a bunch of other cats from St. Louis living in LA, and we formed a band.
Now, did
No,
you guys know each other prior?
We all kind of knew each other,
Yeah, okay.
from other stuff, and it was really fun. It was a lot of fun. And so I put together 3 major tours with that band, like some pretty hardcore tours, and that was a lot of fun. And then my wife and I, when she got pregnant, we moved back to St. Louis.
Okay.
I'm like, man, I should just keep that going. And so I started doing some acoustic shows, just to kind of get back out and play. And then it went from like a couple shows to literally within a year to 150, 160 shows
Wow.
in the area, because it was just like, oh, you can play here, right here.
There's so many cool spots here in St.
There's a
Louis to
lot.
play.
And
Because right
for-
now, do you have like a permanent spot out there at Cottle Village? Because I know you're playing out there a lot.
I
aren't you?
don't. So I'm out there like 3 times a year.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I'm there's a few places where I'm at a few times a year.
Okay.
But I just have a lot of places to play at in the region. So,
Right.
That's great.
But yeah, so I started that 2001.
Okay.
Really got serious with that band when we moved back to St. Louis in 06.
Okay.
And then, man, just kind of just hit the ground running with it.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I put out some records. I put out 4 Steve Ewing records, and just kept playing a lot. And now I'm still playing a lot. I'm still doing, this year's 125 shows.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
So,
and then you got Steve's Hot Dogs. How do you find time to do it all?
well, I got a great team. So,
Okay.
and I was able to, over the past 5 years, it took me a while to figure that out, but over the past 5 years, I've learned how to like really rely on the team and lean on the team, and everybody has their little part to play in it, and we can do more stuff that way.
Yeah.
So before, when I first opened Steve's in 2011, my first shop,
And where was that at?
that was on the hill.
Okay.
So it was called Steve's Hot Dogs on the Hill. That was my first brick and mortar. I had a cart 2 years before that.
Okay.
But I opened my first brick and mortar in 2011.
So when you're doing the cart, were you just kind of like going around? Now, were you like manning the cart?
Mhm.
Okay, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's a crazy
Like
story.
you're like,
too.
yeah. How does that go? How did that go? Like you're like, man, aren't you?
Wait, you're Steve Ewing.
Yeah. Aren't you a singer?
That's crazy, yeah.
Just putting on street concerts while selling hot dogs.
It's kind of went like that a little bit. So I just can never forget. We were playing on Main Street, St. Charles.
Okay.
And I played this gig a few times, and you know how the Lindenwood kids go to these bars and they get out, and there was just like hundreds of kids in the street, and there was no food. I'm like, there's no food out here. I'm like, this was Chicago, or this was like
New York,
LA or New York. There'd be carts and all
Even
kinds of
Springfield,
food.
Missouri.
Yeah, Springfield, Missouri, where we
Yeah.
went
There
to
are hot
college.
dogs
There'd
everywhere.
be like somebody out here
Yeah.
selling some
We used
food.
to go. There's this place. There was the hot dog cart. It would park right outside the bars. Me and my wife, because it was like a mile walk home from the bars, and we would
Yep.
always go there, and you get a.
Yep.
They called it a dirty dog.
Dirty
Yeah.
It was
dog.
like
Oh,
Because there's a dirty
Chili.
water dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, and that, and then they cover it in chili and all
Yep.
sorts of stuff. So it's like this big messy burrito that you end up getting all over you. And
Correct.
you know,
So I saw none of that, and I didn't see any of that in the city or any of the other places I was playing at. So I'm like, I told my guitar player, I'm like, I'm getting the hot dog cart. He looked at me like I was crazy. And before I talked myself out of it, I just bought it. So there's a company in Florida that would make them custom for wherever you're at so that they pass inspection.
Okay.
So I'm like, I'm in St. Louis. And it's like, oh, you need this. And so it made it custom. I got a brand new one. Came, shipped to me, picked it up on the back of my truck
Yeah.
and took it to a gig. We played it in Festus.
Okay.
Okay. Those people love them hot
And
dogs down there.
it was a big show. It's a packed venue. And I just fucking pulled that bitch up. Excuse me.
No,
you-
you're
you
fine. You're
curse?
good. You're
Yeah.
good. You're
You say
good.
whatever you want.
Right up in front of the club. Got done playing and walked right back out there, fired it up.
No
and started
way.
selling hot dogs on the
Weren't
street.
you just on stage?
It was like that. And I went through every piece of food I had within like 40 minutes. And then I had somebody just kept running to get me more food.
Shit, I
we
might
sold
have something here.
Yeah.
a ton of food after that. And the funny thing is the cops came because I think somebody probably called the cops. Cops came and they're like, we don't really have a law against this.
Yeah.
Can you just move it a few feet so the wheelchairs can get through? So in other words, what I learned at that point too was there was really no ordinance anywhere either for mobile food.
Oh, really? So there's no
So
like
there
permits.
was no law
or-
for it or against it. So it was just like
The Wild West,
it
baby.
was like the Wild West. So it was like that for a few places I went to where you just pull up and start selling out on the street.
Is there some places you can't do that?
Now and now you can't. Now there's laws everywhere.
Okay.
Mm.
But in St. Louis, at the time there was laws for it.
Okay.
Like you could only sell hot dogs around the stadium with a cart, or there was like 5 designated areas where you could vend, and they were terrible.
Hmm.
And I was in one of them. I did all right. Yeah, it was not a big thing. Street food was not a big thing in St. Louis.
Yeah.
Not until the food trucks thing came along.
No.
That was like way
I was gonna say
later on.
that's pretty recent.
That's
You
new
know,
for
it's like
St.
the
Louis.
last
Yeah.
decade or so.
Right,
I feel
yeah,
like
probably.
that like you start seeing
Like
places
9
like
Mile
9 Mile Garden. And,
Correct.
And what's the one out?
Frankie
Frankie
yeah.
Martin's. Yeah. I mean,
So food trucks didn't exist at the time. And so we were just like, we got a thing going here. And after 2 years of working the cart on the street, because it's seasonal, because when the weather gets bad, so I was like, I need to open up a spot. I need to do something where I can do it during the day, because I still have a lot of shows. I can go in for lunch. And I'm like, I really like this place on the hill. A friend of mine who same high school I went to, she had she was doing a deli on this little spot on the hill, and it wasn't doing so great. And I just kept bothering her, like, are you thinking about moving out, or what do you think? Like, how you doing in here? She's like, I'm like, I would love to come in here. So I just bothered her until she finally was like, yeah, I'm going to move out, and you can just take over the lease. And I just bought the existing equipment she had in there and opened up my first spot with a guy named Joe who was helping me out. And this is the beginning of Steve's Hot Dogs right there. Yeah.
Wow.
That's
So
awesome.
what was the big difference? You know, I worked in the restaurant industry for about 10 years. So
Mhm.
what was the big difference going from food cart to brick and mortar? Because I feel like that's a big, like,
Huge.
huge step.
Yeah,
you know?
big time.
Like, yeah.
Well, for one, there's rent.
Yeah.
And then there's the maintenance on the building and, just
All the employees.
the employees, the
Yeah.
accounting, everything changed, taxes, and then getting a restaurant past all of the inspections is different from a hot dog cart.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
coming
dealing
from a guy who did not work in the restaurant industry, this was all new to me. Everything I was doing at that point was brand new to me. So it was definitely a learning experience. But
baptism by fire.
yeah, for real. Yeah. It's just like, let's go. Luckily, I was on the hill and I was in really good company because I'm around an entire neighborhood of restaurateurs.
Right.
So, and everybody was they were eager to help me out. They couldn't wait to come in and help me out.
Yeah, and
So-
for the people that are listening that might not be from St. Louis, the Hill is like kind of our Italian neighborhood where there's a bunch of delis and Italian restaurants, pizza places, stuff like that. It's kind of an iconic spot here in St. Louis.
Yeah. But like, as soon as I got in, everybody was like, if you need help, let me know in any kind of way. So literally in every kind of way, I got some help from everybody. So we started, even the purveyors, like my wholesalers were from the neighborhood. So
Okay.
it was just really super. It was the best case scenario. Let me put it that way.
Well, that's
For a
also
new guy,
too,
yeah.
especially just you said in wholesale, so like getting your meats and your dogs and all that.
Meats,
Like,
breads, cheese, everything.
that's
from,
super
yeah,
cool.
Yeah, there's so many
super
like
cool.
local bakeries.
Yeah.
Correct.
Fazio, all the
So
other
you're all
ones that
helping
have-
each other out in
That's
that
correct,
sense. That's
yeah.
awesome.
Great.
That is pretty cool.
So yes, we got that thing open in 2011, and I opened the second one only 3 years later. The guys that own Royale on Kings Highway, hey man, we're opening another spot, Tower Grove East, and we need food in there. The neighborhood won't let us open the tavern. We need food. So on the other side of it, there's an annex that used to be a restaurant. So we kind of same situation. There was already equipment in there, so we just moved in, put some paint on it, and opened a second location. So, and that's where things got tricky, is expansion.
Yeah.
Expansion is always tricky.
Yeah, what was the big hurdle?
Big hurdle was trying to run two places
Same time.
at the same time.
And then you're still doing music during during
Correct.
all this?
Correct. Yeah. So, in hindsight, if I was going to do this, I should have either taken on a partner at the time or brought somebody in who really could help me run two places, or a general manager, or close one and just stay in the other one. But trying to do two at the same time for myself was hard. I mean, it's hard to expand with a whole team in place. But
Right.
Right.
And
Trying to
then
do it
on
by
top of
myself
that,
was-
you've
That
this is a
and-
second job,
Right.
Like-
Exactly.
And not to mention your family you got too. Like,
Oh, yeah. Oh yeah. So yeah, so it was a little rough getting the two going. We did it. And then right around 2019, it just got to be too much. I was trying to juggle the both, and one was starting to cannibalize the other one because they were so close together. And well, I got to close one of them. So I closed one on the hill because it was smaller. Kept the one in Tower Grove, had a bigger kitchen. I could do more stuff out of there, and started doing lunch out of that one as well as dinner. And
Were you only doing lunch?
I was doing lunch on the hill, and I was doing dinner
Okay.
in Tower Grove,
Okay.
which worked out because I could
Yeah, be at one and
close
then
this one and go to the next
jump,
one. Like,
Jump to the next one for the
yeah,
second
I was,
shift.
I was doing that forever. And then I just got burned out. I got tired. And I'm like, I don't really have any more creative energy for these anymore. So I decided to close. So a person who was really close to me, Danny Eichenhorst, who's now my partner, who did a lot of marketing consulting for me before that. But I asked her to write the press release for me closing. And she's like, I'll write the press release, but let's give it a week and let's see how it goes. And she just left it at that. So she wrote the press release for an entire week. I believe the whole city of St. Louis came out
And
to say
yeah,
goodbye.
to get
and,
the last hot
get a
dog,
hot dog,
yeah.
man. Like, and we broke our sales records by like times 10.
So now you're like second guessing it. You're like, shit, should I
So-
close?
She knew this. I was too close to it to see this. But in her mind, you had over a 10-year period, you built a lot in this community. So she's like, I see it. I would love to be partners with you, and move forward with this. So after that, this was exactly what we did. So we closed for about 3 weeks and reopened, and once again, slapped some more paint on the place and reopened to Steve's Hot Dogs. With partners, which was great. So
That's awesome.
It's amazing.
Yep. So that plays into how I'm able to do
Everything else.
everything now. Is,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, partners,
Yeah.
team. Now, what would you say? As far as like the food goes at Steve's Hot Dogs, like what makes your food so special that it's become so successful?
Out of the box, Joe, who's still with me, Joe Zebo, I said, man, I don't want to be like just a plain old hot dog guy. The reason why I opened this restaurant was so we could play with food and get creative and do crazy things with it. But out of the box, we need to have the best bread, best meat, best cheese, the best freshest toppings. That's got to be it. So we got Vitale Bakery across the street, where you were getting bread that was literally baked 3 hours before you got there. The meats were coming from Emo Meat Family, besides the hot dogs, we were getting from a regular distributor, but all the sausages were all local. Cheeses were local. So we started there. And then I'm like, Joe, we're not going to do regular hot dogs. We're going to treat this like a crazy sandwich place or, places that do crazy things with hamburgers. We're going to treat that like that. So right out of the box, we started just throwing crazy stuff on hot dogs. Just how crazy can we get with it? And we came up with about 8 menu items that tasted great, but were different. Nobody was doing anything like it. And so that's where it started. Yeah.
I've had a few of your Chicago dogs. Pretty solid.
Yeah.
Well, especially like I'm sure that one out there in the valley, Chesterfield's probably killing it for you.
It's doing really great. Yeah.
Just with what they've done out there is amazing. And then you got the factory that's
Correct.
there as well. I mean, that's where we were waiting to get in line to a concert one night, and I'm like, man, I'm hungry.
Nice.
So we walked down to Four Hands, grabbed a drink, and then I was like, oh shit. Hot dog sounds amazing right now. So popped in there and got a couple Chicago dogs,
That's
and
awesome.
I was like, man, this is great.
Well, and it being at a music venue too is like
Correct.
It's like
Perfect.
perfect. It's like
Perfect.
kind of
Yeah.
brings you back to
Yeah,
your
it's just like,
your roots.
This is what it's all about. Food and music, they just go together. It
Yeah.
just does.
For sure.
Yeah, but no, it was funny because they're like, wait, trying to get the tickets figured out on the phone, and then I'm just like, man, I haven't eaten. I have to eat. So
yeah, we just came from. We just had a meeting with all of the businesses and everybody at the hub at the district, and that's what really draws the people out there is the factory. They have 170 something shows at that venue.
That's a lot
for a venue, but it's what draws everybody to that spot.
Yeah.
It's so nice for all of us.
Oh, and I love that venue too.
It's
I
great.
mean, it's kind of become like my favorite one to go see shows out here in town.
It's a lot. It's really great. It's good parking. It's
great parking. I mean, the
sounds
venue
great in
itself
there.
sounds great. I mean, I've seen multiple different things there. I've been there and I've seen MMA fights. I've seen comedy shows.
Yeah.
I've seen concerts. I mean, like every single way, all of the above. It's a great experience.
Yes.
And then all
The
the,
area
restaurants
needed
and stuff
that.
that they have around it too. I mean, it's like perfect. You get out, you can run down the street, walk across the thing and grab a beer or go grab a hot dog. Like it's awesome.
well, I mean, I feel like it's the pageant in West County.
Correct.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's great.
That's
And
exactly what it is.
my regional corporate office is just right across the street from there, so it's like perfect.
It's great.
Well, that's awesome. Well, I mean, so how do you balance being an artist who thrives on passion and as well as being a business owner who has to think strategically?
How do I balance it?
Yeah.
Some days there is no balance. Some days I'm just like put your head down and just go. Like we're going this and this, but that's kind of who I am.
Okay.
Just kind of like a high. I don't want to use the word hyper, but I'm just high energy kind of guy, and so I'm always moving. And I like being in motion. I like that. So I like having a lot of things going on, and my philosophy is the more I have to do, the more I will do. The more stuff you got to do, the more stuff gets done.
Mm-hmm.
So
Right.
that's how I have to get it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But yeah, so balance, I guess, kind of for me just kind of comes with it. And there's a lot of times where there isn't any balance. Sometimes all in, and then I try to make time for other stuff. There's always time for my family. That's the one thing I do make time for. Is my wife and my daughter. But everything else really is just everything is my life. Food, the music, that's what I do.
How old's your daughter?
She is 18, freshman in college.
Oh, where's she going?
Yeah, she's at KU.
Okay.
nice.
You gonna open up a Steve's Hot Dog at KU?
Thinking about it. Yeah.
Going down there, see all these
Go out
kids.
there. Do they have,
I'm there.
do
I've
they have
been there
carts?
quite a bit this year.
Do
So,
they have carts on the streets out there?
They don't.
Right?
They don't.
Go back to the roots, getting the
Right,
carts going.
right.
Carts going.
No doubt.
One question I had, I forgot to ask you when we were kind of talking about music was, how do you keep your voice and like energy so sharp when you're performing all the time? With you
That is
being
a
the
good
singer,
question.
like that's something that always like blows my mind with like musicians, especially singers that are, you're relying on your voice.
Mhm.
I mean, like, how do you maintain that?
So you have to take care of it, meaning exercising the voice regularly. So I do see a coach a couple times a year,
Okay.
and then we work on basics, just vocal health, vocal strength. I'm using it in the right way, and trying to get as much rest as you possibly can. It's hard, trying to get as much sleep as you can, hydrating, avoiding alcohol at all costs if you can. Especially during shows, there's no way to maintain good vocal quality and drink. So yeah, just trying to add all the little things together to try to keep my voice in shape.
So when we're watching a concert and we see those guys drinking on stage, is it really not alcohol that they're drinking? It's more probably just water.
I mean,
and
there's
styrofoam.
some guys who do drink on
Yeah.
stage, and
I
some guys can get away with it, and most can't.
Yeah.
But
They try to.
Yeah, they try, yes. And if when you're 25,
Mhm.
you're bulletproof.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what I
You're
mean?
made of rubber and bubble gum. You bounce
like,
back.
so you can get away with a lot when you're young, but as you get older, you really have to start taking care of things. Yeah.
Okay.
Makes sense. I mean, just like everything else. I
Right.
mean, like
Correct, yeah.
as I've realized, I mean, I'm in my early 30s, but over the last 5 years, I've noticed like, okay, I don't recover like I used to.
Not the same. Yeah.
I mean, especially when it comes to alcohol. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, like, man, I drink now. I'm hungover for 3 days.
Yep.
Like, fuck.
Right.
Yep.
Well, you look like you're in great shape. What's your workout routine? What are some stuff you do
So-
for that? 'Cause I'm sure that's probably pretty taxing on your body too. I'm sure
I tried to train for a while. I was training really heavy because I was competing. I'm in bodybuilding shows,
Okay.
like
You were,
amateur
okay. I
bodybuilding
was gonna
shows.
say
So
you're in phenomenal shape.
I was training a lot, like 5 days a week, which is hard.
Yeah.
But now these days I'm just maintaining. So I try to get to the gym like maybe 3 days a week
Okay.
and just work out for an hour and just try to hit all the body parts and then get out.
Okay.
You
And
just do like
then-
3 full body sessions.
Yep.
Kind of. Yeah.
and then give myself a chance to cover because I know I'm going to be working on the weekends. So like, during the week, like Monday, Tuesday, maybe Thursday. And the weekend, I'm usually jumping around on stage.
Mhm.
And on
Getting
Sunday,
your workout there for sure.
if I'm off on Sunday, I try to do something outdoors, just try to walk or something like that. Yep.
Awesome.
That's awesome. So you've seen St. Louis change over the years. What do you think keeps the creative scene alive here?
We have an incredible amount of crazy talented musicians. We have a lot of great musicians here. We have Webster University, Washington University. We have SIU Edwardsville. We have a lot of great programs, art programs in colleges that are producing these crazy musicians. So we have just a good number of musicians.
Yeah.
They're coming out of school and they let them come here for school. Some of them stick around, some of them leave. But we have a lot of great musicians.
Yeah.
The expectation for musicianship is high here. So, but I've noticed in St. Louis and just being around other cities, you're expected to be really good at your craft.
Makes sense.
Mhm.
I mean, I feel like it's every weekend. There's probably 10 or 15 spots that you can go to that has a local band that's playing that they're all amazing.
Oh yeah,
There's maybe more.
this city is the bar and restaurant industry is really built on music here.
Mhm.
There isn't bar or restaurant that doesn't at least start doing live music at some point. Just it's how you do it here,
Mm.
which is cool, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Now, with when you kind of getting into me touring and like with the band and everything, when at the time you did, do you think it's more difficult to kind of make it now or then
No, I think it's probably equally
equally?
difficult.
I was just curious, just like with with social media and everything. I mean, I just think that like somebody can see a clip and it can go viral, and you
Correct,
get a
yep.
ton of views, and,
Correct.
which that wasn't possible 30 years ago.
So it's just different now.
Okay.
So you still have to somehow break through.
Right.
So then it was radio and TV and MTV and stuff like that. That's how you would break through, and touring, of course. Now you break through in a different way, maybe, TikTok or YouTube. And the one thing that remains constant is touring, though, for bands. It's like you have to get out there.
Oh, it's so often that I'll go to see a certain band, but then they usually have one or two openers, and I'm like, oh man, these guys are great.
They're great.
And
Yep.
like I'm in the crowd, like I'm adding songs on my
Correct.
Spotify playlist
Yep.
as I'm there. I'm like, oh, I don't want to forget this one. What was this one called? Or
Yep.
And like I'm adding it. I'm like, okay, all right, these guys are good.
For bands, that's still the meat of it.
Mhm.
You still have to get out there, tour. You just way to do it.
Yeah.
Oh, is
and then
that what the breakthrough was for the Urge? Was just the touring aspect, or
That's
was there
that's
another?
what got us. Our following in the region is relentless touring in the region, and continuously making music. So we'd make a CD,
Mhm.
go on the road, sell it, come back, make another one, go on the road, sell it, stay playing in the area. So we built a great following around St. Louis, Kansas City, Iowa, all the college towns within 200 miles of St. Louis, basically. And we were able to break through with pulling back from selling CDs at shows and only selling retail. At the time, we had this thing called SoundScan, and the only way for industry people who were in New York or LA at the time to know that a band from St. Louis was kicking ass was through sales, checking SoundScan. So well, we're selling a ton of records here, way more than most of the bands
Mhm.
on major labels, but no one knows that. So we took all of our stuff, stopped selling them at the shows, and then went retail only. And then within a very short period of time, the industry was like, oh, these guys are kicking butt. So we found a way to break through.
Gotcha.
So it's up to the bands to figure that out. Yeah.
Well, and nowadays, I mean, CDs are long gone.
Mhm.
Records are still relevant. Like, I mean, you're still
yeah.
seeing albums and those
Mhm.
records coming out, and but with the change into digital music and the streaming and all that, I mean, how has that changed how bands make a profit? Or like, is it cut into those profits? Has it made it harder for them to make?
So, okay. I don't think it's the profitability on that product is any less or more than it was from a retail standpoint. And maybe, and this all changes when you're the 1%. The 1% is like Mariah Carey or, Taylor Swift or something like that. That's at that point, everything changes. But before you recoup, like the record label gives you a bunch of money to make a record and market it and put the band on the road and all that kind of stuff. It takes a long time. Even with retail, only a certain small percentage of that sale will go back towards your recoupment. So you'd have to go platinum to recoup.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
most bands were kind of essentially paid up front,
Yeah,
and then
gotcha.
and then you make a little bit off what you actually
tiny
sell.
bit.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Okay.
So it's the same.
Okay.
It's the same now.
Same thing
Okay.
now. Just
Yeah.
but I guess instead of record sales, it might be like plays or something.
Streams, yep.
Streams.
So I mean, we were getting paid for plays on radio, like they would track radio plays. It was a penny. It's the same.
Yeah.
Okay.
Plays 100 times a day. You get $1.
It's the same. It's
Okay.
So I don't think it's that much different. Like they talk about how I think people look at Spotify and go, they're making tons of money.
Yeah, well, you hear the stories of like Metallica and a couple other bands that
Yeah.
like refuse to like put their their music on streaming
Sure.
platforms and stuff. And
That is a
counts.
band who's surely being affected by it.
Yeah,
Big
1%. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're in that realm. That's really being affected by it. Bands get their stuff on Spotify, and it's a free platform.
It's a free platform, and I mean, and anybody can go on there and listen to it.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
it's like, I mean, you can send links to people,
Yep.
and like they can just click on it and it plays. And
Get your
you can hear
stuff
it right
on
away.
there. Go
Like-
out, make the CDs, put them on vinyl.
Yeah.
When you go out, sell them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, find something else to sell. Like,
Yeah, I guess it's the merchandising
Merchandise,
that makes the most of
that's
it.
how we were all making money beforehand anyway. It was-
Gotcha. Okay.
it was through merchandise. So
And then what about like ticket sales at concerts and all that? Is that part? Because you said you got paid up front to go touring. Is that
Yep.
the same way with
so
the
for
music?
us, during that era, all that money was ours.
Okay.
Minus what we paid our agent and our management company. But
Venue or whatever.
all that money was ours. Where I think now the deals are different. Because the record labels aren't recouping from sales. They recoup a lot of it from everything.
Gotcha.
So from shows, merchandise, all that stuff, whatever. So, but once again, you got an advance. You have a company that's invested in you, and now it's go out there and work.
Yeah.
And it's all about the future too. It's not just about now, about development. So
Projectability.
3 records from now or 5 records from now, like you're moved up. You know what I mean? So things have changed for you at that point.
It's awesome.
Is there a song or record that you've made that you're most proud of?
The first Receiving a Gift of Flavor, which wasn't actually our first record, but it was the first major label record,
Mhm.
and we made it on our own. We cut the record for about less than $15,000,
Yeah.
and we did it in this little studio in Springfield, Missouri,
Okay.
and which isn't there anymore. But we put it out. We knew we had some good stuff, and Brainless was the first single. And we didn't even have a record label, and radio stations weren't playing it. I started just checking it out. Like, well, we like this, but we can't really officially play it. Just kind of started sneaking it in and started getting calls on it. And so that kind of lit a fire.
What was that feeling like hearing yourself on the radio for the first time?
Surreal, but also like, affirming. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's just like,
We're doing this thing.
yeah, big time. Yep.
Very cool.
Love that.
Very cool.
Now, is there any like artist out there that, you know, like if you could pick one guy or one artist out there to like, man, I would love to have like collaborated and like made a song with this person. Is there one that comes to mind?
Oh man, yeah. Would have been great to sit down with Prince or sit down with Sting, you know what I mean?
Oh,
Those are
yeah.
two like my favorite songwriters. And just throw some ideas out and
Yeah.
see what happens, you know. That would be awesome.
Is there a wild and crazy time that you'd be willing to share about traveling or on the road or anything like that, touring?
I mean, there's probably a few near death van related incidents. I mean, and every band can probably tell you those
Attest to this,
stories.
yeah.
Yeah. I'll give you one of those. We're touring with 2 vehicles at this point. We had a van with a trailer on it, and then we had a bus. We had our own bus that we built.
You built?
That's
We built a bus. Yeah. It was a nightmare, but it was also really fun at the same time.
Sure.
So we built a bus and we had our crew in the van and the trailer, and we were Urge. No, it was a festival. It was in Richmond, Virginia. It was the Urge and Two Skinny Jays and Deftones were on that show. And we had to overnight to another show the next day, so we couldn't stay and hang out. Crew was pretty tired. And I'm like, me and Jerry were like, we'll drive the van tonight. Crew can ride on the bus, like the couple crew guys. So they loaded up the trailer and everything. And me and Jerry are on the road on 64. And I'm in the back trying to sleep. Jerry's driving. I hear click, 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 click. Like, oh shit, the trailer's coming off. The trailer's coming off. So finally the trailer came off.
oh shit.
On the highway.
On the highway, off the hitch. And so there's 2 safety chains.
Yeah.
That were holding on to me. Jerry, the trailer's off. The trailer's off. So this thing is, I'm looking at it, it's going like this. And finally it came off, and that thing crossed 4 lanes of highway before it rolled off.
And this has
Oh
all
my
your
gosh.
equipment in there.
Everything's in it.
Oh my gosh.
So miraculously, it didn't kill anyone though,
right.
Yeah.
because we were on 64. So if there would have been traffic out there,
Yeah.
it may have like crossed into some drivers. But luckily, we were late at night and it crossed 4 lanes of highway, crashed, rolled over. We had to get to the gig,
Yeah.
so it was either like rent gear, or I don't know. So we had a tow truck come out, rolled it back over, got it on a flatbed. They hammered out the axles. They got them straight. We opened it up. There was only like a few things that got just ruined in there. And then we got that bad boy to the next gig.
Really?
I mean, with
So-
grass and shit all over hanging out of it, like it was beat to hell, whatever. We got to the next
Damn, that's
gig.
awesome. Wow. And so there
Yeah.
really wasn't that much damage?
No, it's like I remember one of Carl's cabs, something went through it, but we didn't really need it.
Yeah.
So we just used a smaller one. So yeah, we got
Wow.
by
Lucky.
Yeah.
Man, well, lucky on several
Well,
yeah.
counts that it
like
didn't hit
way
anybody,
lucky, but
that your equipment didn't break.
that we didn't
no-
die.
Yeah, you
and
didn't
all
die. I
kinds
mean,
of
all these
stuff.
No one
things.
else did.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Man, what was driving around like, or like touring in a van and a bus like? I mean, with the
van
how many
is-
guys is this? Like, how many?
So
what's the crew
there's
like?
7 at the time. There's 7 guys in the band, and we usually had anywhere from 3 to 5 crew with.
Okay, so it's
so-
like anywhere from like 10 to 12 guys.
Correct. Yep. And if we toured in a bus, we'd usually have all 12 bunks filled up.
Okay.
We'd take a merch person with us probably. So in a van, van touring is hard because your schedule's crazy. There's overnights, meaning like you get done playing, pack up, and you got to drive. So any drive that was over 5 hours, we drove that night because there's no way we'd make it on time
Right.
for load in the next day. So we'd leave that night. That was hard.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so dangerous.
Sure,
Yeah.
everybody's tired.
Everybody's
we just
tired.
performed. Like we
Yeah.
just spent, we just had to break down all the equipment, load it in this
Yeah.
truck, and now we got to drive for 5 hours. It's
Yes.
like, oh,
Yes.
who's taking the first shift?
Correct.
Like, oh.
Correct. Yes. So somebody
Yeah.
take the shift, make sure somebody stays awake
Yep.
next to the driver. So yes.
Yeah.
so
Make sure
it's-
he's got someone to talk to, keep
Yeah.
him awake, make
Yeah.
sure he's not nodding off.
Yep. Plus
Yeah.
just those old 15 passenger vans were like you had to know how to drive them because they were you can't just put a kid in a 15 passenger driver and say drive this thing because there's a lot to it. Fishtails and stuff with a 15-foot trailer as well.
On
There's
top
like-
of that, yeah.
you kind of have to know what you're doing. So it's it can be tricky.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. And I mean, everybody wants to be a rock star, but
Yeah.
they don't want to live that, I think they just think that means just showing up on the day and
Well,
it's, being on stage and performing at the show.
Nah,
they don't
no
know
way.
about the,
No way. Yeah.
behind the
the
scenes
10
stuff.
years you got to spend
Oh,
or
yeah.
whatever it is, driving around in a van with 9 other
Yeah.
smelly dudes in the back of the van,
I have one really good story, and it was we were out with 311, and we were playing small venues, and we're in Dallas, a place called Trees. We get back to the hotel. It's a tour bus. We pull up by the bus because we're looking for a place to park a van with a trailer, and dude steps out of the bus. I go, dude, that's Lars.
No shit.
That's Lars. And they're like, no, it's not. It's not. I'm like, dude, that's fucking Lars right there. Sure enough, it was the band bus, Metallica's band bus. And so they were on the bus. And so they
cool.
step out of the bus and we're like, dude, what's up?
What is
and,
up? Yeah.
and they were just super cool because they were just talking about how they remember touring in a van and how, and they're just like this. We remember touring like this. It was awesome. And here's what they did, man. We ended up hanging out with them that night in their rooms. And the next day, we had the day off. They gave us tickets to the show, backstage passes. And they gave us all of their food, drinks, and everything they had. So we had enough food for a week.
Wow.
From
That's
like, we
incredible.
remember this. So like, we're just going to load you up with everything you need for another week, So
That's
so
awesome.
cool.
yeah, it was just super, super fucking cool.
That is really
It's
cool.
Really
Like,
nice.
Metallica,
just
dude.
Metallica,
It's like really
like,
cool.
just-
Yeah.
I mean, everybody knows who Metallica.
Yeah.
Like, and just to have that experience, that's so
Yeah.
cool. So cool.
Like, what are the chances you pull up and you're
Yeah.
like, fuck, that's Lars?
It's like, like, no, dude, trust me.
and they were all real cool down there.
Super cool.
That's
man.
awesome.
Yeah.
You love
Super
hearing things
cool.
like that because
Yeah.
there's times where you hear the reverse of that where the guys are just they get a
No,
big
they
head
were-
and they get.
I think they were just excited to see another band
Yeah.
out there doing what they used to do and
Yeah.
making a connection. I think was cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It kind of took them back to, where it all started.
Right.
Yep.
You know? Yeah.
For sure. Well, switch things up a little bit. Part of the show is about manhood and fatherhood, and I know we've
Sweet.
talked a lot about what your accomplishments, which are incredible. In today's world, I mean, we've you hear a lot about,
Mhm.
and you hear a lot about the way society portrays men. What is your definition of a man?
That's a good question. That's a really good question. For me, it's about having a vision and sticking to it. Like, and I knew I wanted to do music. I wanted to be a performer. I knew I wanted to do that, and it's about finding what it is that you want to do and sticking to it and going out and doing it. That'd be for anybody though, but that's how it is for me. Like, I feel like I'm in my most manly of spaces if I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
You're a man of your word.
And
Stick to what you're
yep, I know I'm
say
supposed to
you're
be
gonna
doing this, so I should be doing this. So let's make sure I'm putting all the effort I should be putting into it.
Handling your shit.
Yep.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool. And then on the fatherhood side, I mean, what's it like as being the entrepreneur, having your musical career,
Mhm.
what's it like having a family and being a dad during all that?
It's great. I got, my wife is amazing. My daughter's a great kid. I came up in a family where everybody was there all the time for me. Like my brother and I were both athletes,
Mhm.
and my parents were there for us through all of that, through school, making sure that we were on top of our school and all that. And so I just wanted to make sure I was anywhere near as good as my parents were, put it that way.
Gotcha.
So my daughter, once again, another athlete. So my wife and I, we make sure we were there for all of that, through high school, through club, and just really being on top of her for school. And I give it to my wife. My wife's an educator, and she's just really good at making sure Madeline was right there on top of her school, and the both of us are together on those decisions about her life and her future. And so we give her space to do her thing, of course, but being older parents, we didn't have Madeline until we were 36. Being older parents, we're definitely want to be right there with her as much as possible.
Yeah.
And we still are.
That's awesome.
That's amazing. Well, I know we got to get you out of here. We always end the show the same way. So before we get you out of here,
Play a little game. We call it the tombstone game.
Okay.
Here lies Steve. What's it say on your tombstone?
What's to stay on my tombstone? Entrepreneur, community guy, family guy, and hustler. Big time hustler, man. This, I guess that kind of goes with entrepreneur, but
Yeah.
hustler, community guy, family guy. That's me.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Perfect, man. Well, thanks again so
Yeah,
much
man,
for making
thanks for-
time for us. This was great having you in here. Love all the stories, and we're big fans. So
Yeah.
Sweet.
thank
Really
you for doing
appreciate
what
you
you
This
do.
is
on.
great, man.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
Thank you
Thanks
so
for coming
much.
on. Really
You got
appreciate it.
Yeah, and thanks to everybody that tuned in to the episode today. If you could click that subscribe button for us. Pat and I have a goal to get to 500 subscribers on YouTube before the end of 2025. So help us hit that goal. Share this episode with a friend. Comment what you thought below, and we will see you next time.